Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's yours truly, Paragon John, coming right back at you with another video. You could have clicked any video anywhere on these interwebs, but you chose to watch this one right here, so your view is greatly appreciated. Let's talk about attention spans, guys. Attention spans. And welcome back to the pool, by the way. So, guys, we live in a time now where short form content is a part of our daily lives, if you allow it to be, and most people do. And so as a result, this is causing people to have lower attention spans, okay? And obviously this is affecting the younger generation the most. However, not exclusively. This is also affecting the older generations, Generation X, boomers, you know what I mean? These generations are also being affected by, this sort of short form content world that we live in today, where, everyone needs to be stimulated every few seconds. People can't really focus on anything for more than about 5 to 10 seconds before needing some kind of new stimulation. And so here's why this is bad. Guys. Your attention span is really the only thing that you have, okay? The ability to focus on things for periods of time is something that is an incredibly important thing to be able to have, okay? If you can't focus on something for more than a few seconds, then really you can't do much. You know what I mean? There's not much you can really do. You can't read a book, you can't watch a movie, you can't complete a task, you can't stay on task. You know what I mean? You cannot have a conversation with someone without being distracted, without becoming distracted. And one thing that I want to touch on is that there are so many people today who are addicted to things like TikTok, Instagram Reels, Shorts on YouTube, just any kind of these short form videos where it's like video after video after video after video. You're just swiping and swiping and swiping. You're just like brain dead, you know what I mean? This is affecting a ton of people, and there are lots of people around me and probably around you to where they don't see a problem. You know what I mean? Like, everybody seems to have TikTok, everybody seems to have all these social media apps, and they all seem to be consuming this short form stuff. And it seems like most people don't understand or see a problem with it. But I see a problem with it, and I know a lot of you see a problem with it. And I'll just tell you guys, first of all, I'm someone who does not even consume short form content really, like the average person. I don't have TikTok, I don't have Instagram, I don't have Facebook, I don't have Snapchat, I don't have Twitter. All I have installed on my phone is YouTube, okay? And that's for a reason. That's not by accident. That is a conscious choice that I am making to do that, because I do not want to be addicted to stuff like that, okay? Whether you guys realize it or not, whether a lot of people realize this or not, I know a lot of you guys know this watching, but most people don't realize this. These apps that are giving you all this short form content, these are designed to addict you. They are designed to lower your attention span. These things are designed to make you dumber, okay? These things, these apps, these companies, these Silicon Valley tech companies that are the creators of these social media apps, these things are designed in such a way to where it wants to keep you on it. It wants to keep you using it. It wants to keep you addicted to it, okay? It wants to lower your self-esteem. It wants to lower your attention span. That's like the point, because if they can do that, that means they can keep you engaged with the shit, you know what I mean? They can keep you engaged with this stuff so they can make money off of you, okay? So a lot of people don't realize that's what's happening, but that is what's happening. A lot of people think, oh, TikTok is just entertainment, it's just fun. It's like, no, it's not. It's actually really bad for your brain. It's really bad for your mind, and it's making people dumber, and it's making people have lower attention spans, not be able to focus, and it's making people addicted, dopamine deprived, and a lot of this stuff is bad. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't have these things installed on my phone, is because I recognize that. I recognize that they are bad for you, and I don't want my attention span to suffer. I don't want to be addicted to something like that. I want to live in reality. I want to live in the real world. I want to maintain who I am. I want to maintain my ability to focus, right? And there are just a lot of people today who their attention spans are deeply suffering because of these things, and it's good to be aware that that's what's happening. Okay, um, and you know, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm above it all. I have, even I, as someone who does not have these things on my phone or consume this sort of stuff, even I have issues with my attention span now compared to years prior, compared to in the past. You know, if I'm watching a movie or something, nowadays I'll have a more difficult time focusing on that movie all the way through without getting distracted or without wanting to check my phone or something like that. If I'm reading a chapter out of a book, it's very difficult. It's more difficult now than in the past for me to focus, you know, for me to just sit through a chapter in a book and just focus on it, again, without wanting to check my phone or something like that. And so, um, your attention span is very, very important. Once again, you know, if you don't have an attention span, if you can't focus on anything, well, then there's not much you can do. You know what I mean? How are you going to do your job? How are you going to focus on things? You know, how are you going to prioritize important stuff? How are you going to be in the moment? Stuff like that. Um, and so I make the video to point out that people's attention spans today, of all generations, obviously the younger generation is suffering the most, and I'll get into that in just a moment, but people's attention spans are suffering today, and they are a lot lower than ever before, and this is creating a population of people who can't focus. You know, they need constant stimulation. They need, oh, I need another video, I need another video, I need another video. And it's like, not only is it affecting, you know, their attention span in that regard, but also in just conversationally. You know, it's like a lot of these people, they can't even have a conversation with you. They can't stay on topic. They can't focus on the thing that you're talking about or the thing that they're talking about. They have to, oh, let's talk about this for 5 seconds and then switch the topic and talk about something else and talk about something else and switch the topic constantly 24/7. And like, at the end of it, it's like, did you even have a conversation at all, or were you just stimulating yourself with bullshit? You know, a lot of people can't even have a conversation with you today because of the low attention span stuff. And so let's talk about Generation Alpha, okay, which is the younger generation. This is the generation of people, of kids that are the most affected by this, I think. They are kind of growing up in a world today where none of them can focus. You know what I mean? iPad kids, you know, kids are growing up on social media now. Kids are growing up in a world where it's hyper stimulated. Everyone's hyper stimulated. Everyone is like hyper, just like needing constant short form stimulation all the time. And this is not good, guys. This is not something that's good. TikTok and Reels and all this sort of short form stuff is not healthy for your brain. It's not healthy for your mind. Okay, it's just not. If you guys have not seen the, excuse me for the side note, but if you guys have not seen the documentary The Social Dilemma, it's a Netflix documentary. You guys should I highly recommend that you see that. Okay, it's very important, it's very relevant, and it's very informative. Okay, if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend that you guys see that. But yeah, attention spans are lower than ever before. People are more distracted than they've ever been. And so I think that one thing that's important, and something that I've been advocating amongst the people around me in my daily life, and I'm going to advocate this to you guys as well, is that do whatever you can do whatever you need to do to maintain your attention span, okay? To not be caught up in this short form media consumption world. Do whatever you can do to not be in a state of constant distraction. So whether that means maybe you want to start reading books, maybe you want to put the phone down, and maybe you want to start reading books, I highly recommend that. That can be a good way to maintain your attention span. That can be a good way to just kind of slow your mind down and come back to the present moment and just relax a little bit. And it's a good way to practice focusing and practice paying attention, guys. Whatever you need to do, whether you need to start watching movies, start watching podcasts, exclusively only watch long form content, whatever it is that you need to do to maintain your ability to focus, I recommend that you do that, okay? You know, whether that, you don't necessarily have to be like me and delete all the apps off your phone and shit like that. That works for me, but maybe that would work for you, but I'm not saying that you have to do that necessarily. Just whatever you need to do to kind of be able to maintain your ability to focus and maintain your attention span, do it, because you're going to need to, and this is going to get a lot worse as the years go on in the future. I feel like this is going to get a lot worse. I don't really know what the future for Generation Alpha is going to look like with this kind of stuff. I feel like by the time they become adults, they're not going to be able to really focus. I feel like the world's going to be in a much darker place than it even is right now. And so, again, I'm not saying this to be doom and gloom or to be doomer or to be black-pilled or anything like that. I want to maintain a positive outlook. I want to advocate for positivity and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, people's attention spans today are really, really suffering, and it's not good. It's really not good, guys. It's not good, and, you know, just do what you can to kind of combat this stuff and fight against this kind of stuff as best you can. Trust me, guys, you don't want to be one of these people out here that has TikTok brain rot syndrome. You don't want to be one of these people out here that walks around glued to the phone and is not even aware of their surroundings. You don't want to be one of these people that the only conversation you can have is what you saw on TikTok last week. You know, you don't want to be one of these people who's like an addicted, like, drug addict on short form media, to where you have no attention span and can't focus. You know, you have the attention span of a goldfish. You don't want to be that. Believe me, you don't want to be that person, okay? So yeah, that's the video, guys. Attention spans are really suffering out here today in 2026, ever since this short form content kind of world took off that we now live in. So yeah, let me know your perspective. Sorry about the construction in the background, guys, but let me know your perspective in the comments. Is your attention span suffering? Are you still someone who's able to focus? Are you still someone who, you know, whose attention span is not really suffering? What are you seeing with the people around you? Let me know in the comments, but that's the video, guys. My name is John. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to leave a like on the video if you guys liked, and subscribe for more if you guys want to see more of this in the future. So thank you guys for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.